It's all pretty quiet now, but for the past 2 hours it's been absolutely hammering down rain and lots of lightning strikes, lots of rumbling, but it's quieting down now. But of course, it's wet season in Thailand, and the rain has brought the dams up dramatically. Now, last night it rained. I had spent the afternoon with guys, Western guys, playing golf at the local golf club, which I've been doing for now about 4 weeks. So I haven't played golf in about 22 years. I used to be an avid golfer. I used to play 2 or 3 times a week for about 25-30 years, but does that math add up? I don't know. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, I used to play a lot. I got the invite to play with the guys, so I thought I can do that. I need another hobby apart from everything else I'm doing sort of here, and I thought that would be quite enjoyable. So I did that, and I'd been playing. We play usually 9 holes, which stretches to about 11 or 13. Strange situation, you pay for 9 and you're allowed to do another 3 if you want to. I think the way it works, we don't start till about 3 p.m, so it's crouching on dark by the time we sort of get to the 11th hole, and we don't do a 12th hole because we can't see the balls anymore. So we were heading back to the clubhouse, and it was just 4-7, and the days are quite long here at the moment. And so we got a few drops of rain on the windscreen of the golf buggy as we were heading back, and we just got inside the actual sort of the club room area. We're having a beer there and having a chat. As we were doing that, the rain was getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and I got a call from Talani. Well, actually, I noticed I had a missed call from Talani a few minutes before. So I called her back, and she was in the market, and she was selling flowers, and it's absolutely pouring down there. I could see it in the video, and then within seconds of having made the call to Talani, it was doing the same at the clubhouse. So she was going to close up early. She'd sold most of the flowers that she had. She's on her 2nd day, and by the time I got there, it was absolutely bucketing down. She had all the wet weather gear on, and they were trying to put all the flowers, well, the empty buckets and all the wherewithal that she uses to sell into the Suzuki, which we normally park there with all of the extra stuff. There's the Suzuki. It's a Suzuki Mighty Boy that's parked here now. But as you can see, she's got lots of ice boxes inside there. A bit dark, but I think you can pick it up. And that's where she stores all the flowers. But that's where we pack up all the gear to go to market. And so we're busily trying to cram all that in there. I was sitting in the car for a few minutes watching. I thought, what am I going to do? I haven't got my wet weather gear. Then I remembered I had a raincoat thing that I'd bought, a plastic sort of smock, and so I put that on and I helped with that. So I drove that out into the back end of the car park so it wouldn't be in the way on the next day when all the traders came. We'd pick it up the next day, which we did. So I then hopped into the Toyota, the Vigo, this one here. I drove off towards home. Talni had a motorcycle and what we call the Rock Ken, which is just over here. I'll get a bit of light on that for you. Which is that guy there, which was she tows behind the motorcycle. So I got here first, and the place is pitch black. They hadn't turned any lights on before I'd gone out, and I thought, okay, well, I'm kind of wondering what happened. So I pulled into the driveway, left the headlights on the car so I could see what I was doing, and went to turn on the switch for these lights here in the carport area. Nothing happened. Oh, okay, maybe something's wrong with that circuit. So went into the house, unlocked the house, and went through there. Again, no lights. So quickly worked it out that no, we didn't have any power. And so that was about 7:30 last night. All the time it's bucketing down. And we went through till we had a quick snack of some stuff we had there. We cook on a gas stove. We couldn't do anything electric, but so that was no great problem. But of course, in Thailand, Talani and Thai people, when it rains in rural Thailand, they're all out looking for fish that are crossing from water, of course, water sources or dams or whatever. And that's what she was doing on and off. She made about 4 or 5 sorties while I was awake, and when she went out for one of those sorties, I thought, okay, well, I'm a bit sort of tired, I think I'll go to bed because she's going to be doing this all night. So I did that. And behold, about 1 a.m. we had power. Yeah, we tried and turned on switches and left some on that it didn't matter whether on or off. It would give us a warning if we actually had power. Had power for a couple of minutes and then gone again. So still pouring down, absolutely bucketing down. And that went on till the wee hours. I don't know what time that really stopped, but it was, it had showers when I woke up, so no power still. Power didn't come back on till what time? About 11 a.m. I think it was, about 11:30. So it was out for a good period of time. And so we had power at the moment. So we went off and did all of the things that we'd normally do. I spent a lot of time, even though all the grass and everything was wet, I spent a lot of time sort of cutting because it became overgrown very, very quickly with, in response to these wet season rains, it does. It really takes off. So you've got to keep on top of them, otherwise you can't sort of walk around the place. We have all the walkways that we use to access all the various places, and you've got to keep it down. So I was busy there. I think I went through about 6 tankfuls of fuel. A tank of fuel lasts about 40 minutes with a cutter. You get about 40 minutes work out of it. So that was a good few hours sort of work. And then in the afternoon, we had a bit of a shower, cleaned up, and they decided, well, let's go off, and we went off to Global House, a big hardware store, not far away. All the time it's quite warm and obviously very humid with all the water around the place. So we went off to Global House, the hardware store. They got a little bit of a restaurant. We had a nice sort of coffee there and enjoyed the cool. And we wandered around, bought a few knickknacks that we wanted. As we drove out of Global House, it absolutely bucketed down again. And we got most of the way to home. And we kind of drove out of the rain. It was dry as a bone all the way to the farm. So, all well and good, that was about 5. We did a few more things. I relaxed, but Talani had plenty she wanted to do. So she got on with that. And then it started to rain. And it got stronger and stronger and stronger. We still got power, but it was absolutely hammering down. And there's another one there. Light all around us. So we still got those happening now. A bit of rolling thunder, but through today. Yeah, started playing golf with a group of local guys, and the second round of 9 holes, second week I was playing with them, I got a hole in one on a par 3, hole 5. Now, it's been 4 years since there's been a hole in one on that course, and I got it. I asked it. 9 iron off the tee, and it's 108 metres or something like that, the hole. One bounce, and I thought it bounced over the back because it's a raised green putting surface. But it didn't. It actually dropped behind the flag and bounced back straight down the hole. So that was all well and good. So I've got about 10 free games as the bonus that the golf club gives to anybody who can manage a hole in one. And they used to give 2,000 baht, but they're not doing that anymore. What they're doing instead is they let you take it out in beer. So that's their price of beer is 50 baht a can. So that's sort of 40 cans of beer. So me and the guys have been doing okay. Been having a bit of a fun, having a good laugh. My golf has been up and down. I need a lot of practice. So we'll be doing that. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the company, and it's great. Good fun. So that's where we're at the moment, guys. I haven't posted a lot of stuff. This part of the year, when we kind of think that the work is sort of dropping off or back a bit, well, it's not really. Our rice crop went in. It had plenty of water because we had our water source, that new solar bore, well, whatever you want to call it. And we've been able to keep water up to the rice crop, and it germinated very quick, so that was great. And growth, well, it went over knee high, and the normal practice that not all Thais use, but a lot do, and Talani does, is that once it gets that high, then they go through and they cut it down to ankle height. And what that does is to actually make it's a bit like a lot of grasses. You cut them and they sprout more. The more you cut them, the better, and the more they spread, and you get better coverage. So that's what happens there. And so that increases the yield of the crop, which is what that was all about. Now, we had a guy do that. I didn't cut that. Got a guy in to do that. Took him 2 days to get through that. Now that went from knee high down to ankle high. 4 days later, it's back up to knee high. It's absolutely amazing how quick that grows. You know, people make jokes about, oh, it's boring, it's like watching grass grow, suggesting it takes a long time. Not here. With a bit of rain and the nitrogen and all the stuff that comes with that rain, the rice in 4 days had gone, I would say it had grown 12 to 14 inches. Absolutely incredible. And that's where it's at the moment. We're starting to get a lot of rain now. The dams are full. We're not having to rely on the solar power so much. We have been pumping water out of the dams into the rice fields to keep them well wet too. The dams are now full again anyway because of the solar pump and predominantly because of the rain from the rain because it's wet season. So that's sort of happening there. Yeah, so we're all well and good. It's looking like it's going to be a good rice season. Starting to get a bit more lightning and thunder. Maybe you can hear that. So I think it's going to pick up again and we'll have some more heavy rain, but we're at the point now where there's so much water in the dams that we've got to consider managing that. The big dam here, which used to be one dam, and now we have the second dam, so there's about another 60% on top of what we had last year in volume of water. That has to be managed so it doesn't get too high because we're right beside the house. Now we've got a series of pipes that actually are set at a particular level, and when we open those pipes, the water will drain from these dams into the small dam. Obviously that will fill the small dam quite quick, which is on the other side of the house. But the small dam has then got a 4-inch PVC pipe that goes from the other side all the way down to the corner of the block. It's about 500-600 mil down in the ground. I dug it in, and that goes for about, there's 10 links, it's 40 metres down to the corner. There is a culvert, a concrete pipe going under the road into the property at the opposite side of the road. That's how we manage it. Any excess, or once we get to the full mark, we let the overflow go out through there and into the next farm's property. So when not in use, those are capped. We're keeping that, we're holding that water back at a level that we want. So we get a little bit of reserve. but we have to keep our eye on it, otherwise the water level gets up too high. So that's what we're doing there. All well and good. I hope you guys have been well. I hope you guys have been not missing me too much, because I haven't posted a lot in this last week. Previous week I did post about 3 or 4 short videos, but just some general things that are happening around the place. But we'll get back on that. I hope I can get some more material to you soon. Maybe I might introduce you to some guys at golf. We're becoming a bit of a group there, and it is a group that we have a drink together on a Saturday afternoon with a number of other guys, but there's a group of about 4 of us that actually go and play golf together. So maybe I'll introduce you to those guys at some point if it's all okay with them, and we'll catch you later. So all well and good. Questions I'm always happy to answer. I'm sure you've got questions about general life and living in rural Thailand, if you ever had a consideration of if it's something you want to do, or how do people survive, how do people live. Happy to give my side of the story, and catch up with you later. Please subscribe, comments, as I said, questions, great. Thanks guys. Catch you later. Bye.